All right, welcome to Brother from Another. And you know what, Ashley? We could have started the show a different way. I just wanted to start this way. I just want to say what's up. That's all. That's all. I just want to say how you doing?
Up?
How are you? How you feeling?
I'm good.
You good? Everything's good?
I'm good. I'm chilling. It's a little rainy in Miami, as anyone knows. In July, June, August, we get rain every single day, but it's about 30 minutes of rain and the rest is sunshine. So I guess I'll take those odds. How about you?
I am feeling great. I'm not in a Miami space. I don't have the South Beach thing going on for me. But I'm in Boston, and it's kind of quiet in summer because it's a lot of colleges and universities here, and when the college students leave, it's a different kind of city. But I'm asking you. I want to talk to you because you are going to lead us. You're going to lead us into the first topic. Because
okay.
I think because you know this, you know both of these cities so well. We talk about Miami, you know Miami inside out, you know New York City inside out. And there's a lot of hype around both cities. And in a lot of cases, if you're outside, let's say you're from Nebraska. I'm sorry. But let's say you're from Nebraska. Anyway, you're from Nebraska.
Sorry, Nebraska. Sorry. Love
Nebraska.
The corn. Love the corn.
I just wanted to pick on you today. But let's say you're from Lincoln, Nebraska, to be more specific, and you hear all this stuff about New York, and you hear all this stuff about Miami, and you say, wow, it can't possibly be as great as it is. And if you're talking about some other cities, you'd be right. But would you agree with me that as much as people say about New York, especially New York, let's leave Miami out of it, especially New York, the hype, it matches the hype and it exceeds it, but you got to experience it first. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yes, for different reasons. I think a lot of people, the hype of New York is different than what New York actually is when they get there. I know from a lot of people who've wanted to visit New York and have like dreamed about visiting New York, when they actually get there, they're kind of like, that was a lot. Like that was a lot. It's a lot. It can be overwhelming. It's not for everybody. I've never heard somebody have a bad time in Miami. It's hard to hate the sun, the sand, the beach, the warm weather, the restaurants, things like that. But New York, I feel like, is a little bit more of an acquired taste. I think in concept, it sounds really dope for a lot of people. And then they get there and they're like, yeah, this is a lot. It's kind of dirty. It's kind of grungy. It's fast paced. It's not for everyone. I love it because it's home, but I can see how it's overwhelming for some people for sure.
Well, I will say this. The expectations for Victor Wembanyama are New York-ish. Our New York meets Miami. It's and Ashley, I haven't felt this way in a long time. I put in the feed that he's a once in a generation prospect, and it really has. It's been a generation since I felt
Look at the way he's ducking to get into the subway.
I love it. I felt this way about an NBA prospect. This guy is unbelievable, and you wonder if there's so much expectation, great expectations, if you will. You wonder if he'll be able to meet them. But before we answer that question, because I think he will. Before we answer that question, I just want you to hear this response to a question JJ Redick asked Wemby on the JJ Redick Old Man in the Three podcast. Check out this answer from Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
We have seen this happen to a number of young athletes who lose, I think, a sense of reality, and they lose that grounding principle of their life. What is your totem?
What you just said about young players, this is something I've thought about a lot. I know I'm never gonna turn like this. Like I know I'm never gonna lose a grasp of reality and just do some shit, because I know what I want. Like I'm driven from the inside of my heart, and like nothing can put me out of my path. Like I do everything I can, so I deserve what I get. And I think some players are really talented, physically or technically, really, really talented, but their mind isn't like as good as their body is. You know what I'm saying? My totem it's something bigger than basketball. It's just life. It's just accomplishing yourself inside this universe. When I need motivation, when I need energy and I feel tired out, when I need a fight on the court and it's hard, I always remember I'm free in that universe. I do whatever I can, and I know what I want to do, and nothing's gonna stop me from doing it. And I always got that in mind. And it doesn't just stop to basketball. It's about life.
Man, Jason.
Well said.
Jason. He's reached enlightenment.
No, man. Plus, I'm not sure I'm really understood because in French I know I can make myself understood, but in English sometimes I'm not fluent.
No. You're understood. You're understood. It's very clear. Man, I wish I was free in the universe. I wish I was free in the universe.
Love it. Love everything about it.
Come on now. Come on, Ashley. What'd you hear there? What'd you see and what did you hear from this incredible prospect?
Exactly what JJ said, enlightenment. I mean, he's 19 years old, and to have that wherewithal is so impressive. But I mean, if you really, as somebody who's very into spirituality and always trying to connect myself, to higher levels of spirituality and just constantly looking to improve myself, I felt what he said 100%. You can have all the talent in the world and you can have all of God's gifts just at your feet. But if your mind isn't right, your mind controls everything. And I truly believe in mind over matter. And I truly believe in manifestation. And I truly believe in the power of the mind. I'm somebody who's read so many books about it. The Secret, I watched the documentary. I've watched multiple documentaries about it. I'm someone who prays, I meditate, like I do sound baths, sage, smudging, all of that, because I truly believe once your mind is your most powerful weapon. And I think if you can master your mind and you can master your emotions, and I still struggle with it. Like there are times where I get so consumed by, what's called the outer world, like the things surrounding you. And I get sometimes overwhelmed by how I may be feeling that I forget to master, the one thing that controls all of that. And that's what's up here. So for him to have that wherewithal at just 19, I don't know if it's a European thing. I don't know if it's a French thing. I don't know what it is, but it's very powerful and it's very true. When you can master your mind, you can master everything. And that's essentially what the Mamba mentality was all about. If you ever read Relentless, which was written by the trainer who trained Kobe and D Wade, and it's truly about that too. You master your mind, you master your body. It's so impressive that he has that mindset at such a young age.
Enlightenment is the right word, Ashley, and I love the way you said it too. Think about this. You said it. He said it in his, I'm going to assume, maybe his second language. I don't know. English might be his third language. I don't know, but he said it beautifully.
Probably no. In Europe, English, it's probably his third language. Probably.
Exactly. And how about to say it so beautifully and then to apologize, like, hey, I'm not sure I got it across. I know I can say it in French. No, you said it in English very well. And I talk about the expectations. And I hear so many people, and I trust it. I've seen him, not like I've seen 40 games of him on the court, but I've seen enough where it's pretty incredible. And I compare it to the other prospects. See, I was wrong before about the other generational prospect I saw, and I put it here as the first Wemby. The first Wemby. You should know who it is. It was 20 years ago. It was June of 2003. LeBron James. So you heard about this guy, LeBron James. High school phenom from Akron, Ohio, was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, your former employer, on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was 15, 16 years old, on and on and on. Multiple state champion. He's great. He could be one of the best players in the NBA right now. He's just a junior in high school. He could be, a top 5 player. And I was thinking, Ashley, I was like, okay, poor LeBron James. He's the number 1 pick of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has a $90 million Nike contract before he's played a game in the NBA. Everybody's saying all these things about him. He can't possibly meet the expectations that are put out there for him. And it only took one game in the NBA, his first NBA game. I knew I was wrong. He exceeded the expectations for him in his first game because he went out there in Sacramento and looked like the best player on the court. And I felt like he exceeded the expectations, even though it took a couple of years, maybe even 3 years, for his team to make the playoffs. I don't always get hyped up about prospects, whether I've seen them or not. I just think it's just too hard. I have too much respect for the NBA. But in this case, I'm putting it aside. I put it aside once a generation. I wasn't wise enough to put it aside for LeBron James. I was wrong. I'm not going to be wrong here. This is the real deal. I think he is going to meet expectations immediately. And that doesn't mean win a championship. I just think he's a baller and he's got his head on straight.
No, absolutely. And I mean, he's probably going to San Antonio. Which
probably
would be probably going to San Antonio. Him and Popovich will be an incredible team. Popovich has a knack for developing talent, specifically European talent. I mean, look what he did with Parker, Ginobili. So I think it's a perfect situation from him. It's not in the spotlight, so he can feel free to make mistakes under the support system of being in a smaller market, which is always beneficial for a prospect that's heavily recruited like this. You know, you're not going to LA, you're not going to New York, you know, where you're required to kind of be ready to go straight out the bat. I think about RJ Barrett, who a lot of the times, a lot of fans were frustrated with him because he got drafted to New York very young, out of Duke, was not ready 100% to go like a pro, which is to be expected. But in New York, there is no, oh, you got time. No, we want to win now. You got to be ready now.
That's right.
So you can't make those mistakes. We want to go now. So he's not going to have that pressure. But again, none of that matters if you don't have the mental. And I think that the way that and only time will tell if he's able to kind of hold on to that mindset. I feel like he will be. But I think that it's really special and it's really it's a lot of optimism surrounding a prospect who has that mindset, because the NBA is hard. You're not the best anymore. You know, there's a lot of best players in the NBA. You're not, you know, Wemby of France, where you're, you know, this godlike creature, rather. You're amongst really the best of the best. So it's going to be harder. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be adjustments. There's going to be trials and tribulations. But if your head is on straight, you can definitely overcome all of that. I'm very excited to see him in this league. Very excited.
All right. I'm glad you said it that way. You're very excited to see him in this league, the National Basketball Association. MLB. Well, okay.
Not so much.
And listen, I'll say, I don't think there's ever been a 7-footer on the, like Randy Johnson was what, 6'10"? Is Randy Johnson the tallest starting pitcher, or maybe the tallest pitcher?
You can't have all the gifts, Michael. You can't have all the gifts. You can't be a basketball phenom. You can't be 7+ feet tall. You can't speak multiple languages. You can't be light skinned. You can't have all the gifts. You can't have all the gifts. You have to be bad at something.
You said light skinned too.
You have to be bad at something. And he's bad at baseball, and that's okay.
Oh, it's not even baseball. Okay. I mean, I'm always amazed by that, though. I'm amazed because he's tremendously athletic. We know that. Tremendously. To be able to like do it, you've seen some of these highlights where he goes from the 3-point line, and then a couple steps later, he's at the rim. He's dunking. He's going behind the back. He's dishing. I bet with a throw like that, I wonder, can he throw an outlet pass? I just wonder, like that. That's one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
I think he should just stay clear of baseball fields altogether. I mean, granted, the ball was engulfed in his hand, so it was probably hard for him to release it in an accurate time frame, because it was so deep in his hand, so lost in his grip, that maybe it affected the release. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a pitcher. Yeah. All I know is, there are some people you never want to see throw a first pitch again, and I'm going to put him up there with like 50 Cent. I'm going to put him up there with some other people. There. It's not for you, bro. You have your gift.
It's the only time. It's the only time where he let me down. I expected more than that. I did. I didn't expect to see that. I thought it would be. You know what I thought? I didn't look at the way it comes out of his hand. Oh, what? What is that? What is that? I thought he would. It was so far right.
It was so far right.
I thought he would bounce it. I hate to for him, but I can't wait to see him ball. The NBA draft is tomorrow night. We'll be shocked. We'll be shocked if the San Antonio Spurs say anything different, do anything different. Whether it's in English or French, we will find out that Victor Wembanyama is going to be a San Antonio Spur. And speaking of what's going to happen, well, we know we're going to talk to Kurt Heelan coming up. And it looks like we got a trade with another 7-footer, possibly change. Not even possible. It's going to happen. A 7-footer changing addresses, 3-team trade. We'll talk about that with Kurt Heelan, Pro Basketball Talk coming up next. Oh, brother, go ahead and play that music. Go ahead, play the music. Play the music. I love it.
What do you think Wemby's walkout song is going to be? Something in French? Something in English? Maybe some
both.
Tony Parker rap?
No, we don't want. No, this is different. And he's going to be he'll be the most charismatic Spur. He'll be more charismatic than Parker and Duncan and Ginobili. It's just something, he's got this thing already. It's already there. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see him.
I'm excited too.
Excited to see the Spurs. Who's excited to see the Spurs? When's the last time you said that? Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.